Good morning, dear students. So, in the last video we have seen about the cells and the types of the cell, that is unicellular organism having one cell and multicellular organisms, that means having more than one cell. Now, let us see somewhat about cell size and then we will see about the eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells, right? So, what is here? Cell size remains constant for a particular cell. For a respective cell, the cell size remains constant. It has no relation with the size of an organism. There is no relation with the size of an organism. That if the organism is so big, that is because of the cell is so big. No. Particular size and particular organism have their respective size. The size of organisms depend on the number of cells and not on the size of cells. We think that if the organism is very large, it is because of the size of the cell. But it's not like that. Because of the number of the cells present in the organism, the size of the organism is either smaller or bigger. And it is not because of the size of the cells. Here I have jotted one example. The larger size of a whale, that is aquatic animal, is the largest one, or an elephant, terrestrial animal. They are the larger in size, whale and elephant. It is not because the cell present in them they are so large, but it is due to the presence of more number of cells in their body and not because of the largest size of cells. That means there are many cells in the body of whale as well as in the body of elephant. So, because of the more number of cells, their bodies are very large. Some of the cells, such as eggs of birds and reptiles, can be seen with naked eyes. But majority of the cells can be seen only with the help of a microscope because of their minute or their tiny size. Most of the cells, they are always observed through the microscope. Microscope is a device which helps to see the minute size in the magnified form, in the larger form. I will prepare one of the video in which I will explain about the parts of the microscope, and even I will send the animated video also where you will see the microscope, and even I will prepare video of microscope of our biology lab, so you will come to know exactly what is that device. And then we will prepare some slides also and we will see in the microscope. But that I will do in a special lab session. So, some of the cells such as eggs of birds as well as reptiles, some of the eggs of the birds and reptiles, that they are so large so we can see with our naked eyes, that is with our direct eyes. But remember one thing, that majority of cells, or we can say most of the cells, they are not able to see by our naked, by our direct eyes. They need help of the microscope. Cells are measured in a particular unit, and that unit is micrometer. We know that the measure of the length universal is meter. Smaller than it is centimeter, smaller than it is millimeter, and smaller than it is even micrometer, decimeter, right? Many units are there, bigger as well as greater as well as smaller, which you will learn in your even higher classes. But here we will just know that cells are measured in a very particular unit, and that particular unit is micrometer, which is symbolized as μm. This is mu, which is considered as very micrometer. Micrometer, that means it is 10 raised to minus 9 part of the meter. If 1 meter piece is there, then it is divided by 10 raised to 9 parts. Or it can say that it is referred as microns. That means cells are small, they are measured in microns. Among the multicellular plants, the ovule of Cycas. Cycas is a plant, and ovule of that Cycas plant, it is a flowering plant, so it has ovule, and ovule of that Cycas plant has the largest cell. So out of all multicellular plants, the largest cell is of Cycas ovule. An ostrich egg in birds is having 18 centimeter of egg size cell, and that is the largest cell among the birds. Nerve cell in our humans, it is having a meter long tail which is called axon. Our nervous cell, nervous system. Nervous cells are present in a nervous system which helps to think, which works between the brain and the body part as a transmitter, right? And it has a very long tail, and it is about 1 meter long. So it is the longest cell. Nervous cell having 1 meter long tail is the longest cell. Mycoplasma gallisepticum. This is the name of a bacteria. Mycoplasma gallisepticum, a bacteria causing respiratory disease. Is the name of the bacteria, and this bacteria causes respiratory disease. That means it is harmful to the respiratory system for inhaling and exhaling the oxygen and carbon dioxide respectively in chicken, pigeons and game birds. So most probably this bacteria, Mycoplasma gallisepticum bacteria, are harmful for birds like chicken, babies of the hen, pigeons, game birds, and causes respiratory disease. They are very small. They have just 0.1 mucometer, 0.1 micron diameter, the smallest cell, right, among the microorganisms, bacterial cell. Some cells do not have any definite shape. This was all about size. That is, they have irregular shapes. They don't have a specific shape. Amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organism having only one cell. And as it is having only one cell, it has no specific shape. It has irregular shape. Leukocytes. Leukocytes is nothing else but they are present in our blood, and they are our WBC, white blood corpuscle cell. Leukocytes, that means cells of WBC, cells of white blood cells. They also don't have a regular shape. They are also irregular in shape. All living organisms are made up of one or more cells, with only exception of viruses. A very important thing, keep in mind, all living organisms existing on the earth, they are all made up of either one or more than one cells, but the exception case is viruses. Viruses are specially designed living organisms where they are accepted out of the cells, and that is why to control the effect of the virus and to control the specific virus is very challenging for the science and medical science, and this is the thing which we are at present coming across since 1.2 years. Since last March we are facing the problem of coronavirus, right? Viruses lack cells in their body. They doesn't have any cell in their body. Therefore, they are not capable of showing any life processes. That means themselves they will not show any life processes. They live in the body of other living organisms and they continue their life processes, and due to that they are harmful. Their genetic material is either DNA or RNA. That means their genetic material, their reproductive material, their life process material are either DNA, diribose nucleic acid, and ribose nucleic acid, and they are living on the other living organisms. They enter in a living body to use its cellular organization in order to multiply. Just now I told they themselves doesn't have any cells, so their body depends on the another living body. They enter the living body, that means the other living organism's body they will enter, and they will use its cellular organization, that means complete cellular mechanism, in order to multiply, that means in order to reproduce. एक से ज़्यादा, एक से दो, दो से चार, चार से आठ, आठ से 16 ऐसे मल्टीप्लाई होना है उनको. वो कैसे होते हैं? बाय द हेल्प ऑफ अदर बॉडीज सेल्युलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. दूसरों की बॉडी में जो सेल का पूरा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, जो पहले वीडियो से मैं बोलती आ रही हूँ, सेल्स, टिश्यू, ऑर्गन सिस्टम, ऑर्गेनिज्म, और वो सेल्स अलग अलग सेल्स बॉडी में अलग अलग फंक्शन करते हैं. तो वायरस कोई भी लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स में चला जाता है, एंटर हो जाता है, और जो लिविंग बॉडी में एंटर होता है उसकी सेलुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से वो खुद की मल्टीप्लिकेशन करता है. एंड दिस इज़ हाउ दे हार्म द लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स इन विच दे आर एंटर्ड. Thank you.